All right, everybody. Community Coalitions of Idaho here, and we are here with one of our partners in prevention, and we're here with Rebecca Sprague from Central District Health. You are the Prevention for Success Coordinator for Region 4, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, Partnerships for Success in Central District Health, which represents Ada County, Boise County, Elmore County, and Valley County.
Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to let her talk about some of the things that she does in her role and how it can benefit you as one of our members or partners, or even she might even have something that would be interesting to someone in the general public if you guys are out there watching. So Rebecca, kind of give us an overview of what this PFS program is statewide.
Sure. Yeah, so Partnerships for Success is a grant that was awarded to the Idaho Office of Drug Policy in 2018, and it's administered by SAMHSA, so the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And it's a 5-year grant from 2018 to 2023, so we're just going into year 3. And statewide, we focus on underage drinking, reducing those rates. And then each public health district also has some identified substances and identified subpopulations that we work with specifically, and all vary all through the state. Here in Region 4, we work on methamphetamine use, and then we also work with veterans and families of veterans, trying to better those services for them.
Awesome. And so what do you do in Region 4? Like, what are you, because you said every coordinator has their own identified substances. What are the substances that you're working on here in Region 4, and what are some of the, who do you provide services to, and what do you have to offer here?
Sure. Yeah, so Partnerships for Success project coordinators, we don't offer direct services, but what we do is work on capacity building and trying to develop more sustainable ways of providing certain resources to people. So we have 3 required activities that each of us project coordinators are supposed to do each year. So those 3 things are implementing an evidence-based family or parenting class, providing drug impairment training for educational professionals, which is also called DITEP. We bring someone from Idaho State Police to do that training on our behalf. And then the other thing we are required to do is to disseminate some of the Be the Parents materials, which is an Office of Drug Policy social norming campaign around underage drinking. So outside of that, we also have a menu of optional strategies that we can do. They include environmental strategies, alternative activities, education dissemination, and things like that. So here in Region 4, my focus for fiscal year 21 is to work on some environmental strategies, which includes the dissemination of our DTERA drug deactivation pouches and prescription lock boxes. We're also working on developing a parent lunch and learn for the spring, hoping to be a series of 4 webinars focused on substance use in youth and methamphetamine use among all populations, and probably some veterans resources that might be unfamiliar to people. And then we really just work with our local coalitions as much as possible to see what that capacity building looks like, and trying to build sustainability for if the grant is not awarded after the 5 years. So that way we can keep these things going on. Some of the alternative activities that we work on are after school and out of school programs. So with the YMCA, Parks and Rec, a lot of our schools having after school tutoring or transportation, and some environmental projects that the kids work on themselves, like bettering their skate park or their pump track in all 4 of our counties.
So I heard in there something about parent lunch and learn webinars. Can you expand on what that is?
Sure. Yeah, so this is just an optional activity, but it's one that I chose for this year, mostly because a lot of things I anticipate will still be virtual in the spring, and I thought a webinar would be a good way to go. So I've consulted with ECHO, and I really like their model and bringing in professionals to train people about various topics. So ECHO Idaho through the University of Idaho, if you're not familiar, certainly look up their website. But I'd like to do something similar to that. Of course, their model is trademarked, so I'm just going to model after it a little bit. But I'd like to have a series of 4 lunch and learns where parents and community members are invited to learn about different topics. And the 4 that I'm thinking about so far would be underage alcohol use and how to get help, what resources are available for youth specifically, looking at methamphetamine and substance use treatment for that, and also prescription stimulants. It doesn't always have to be methamphetamine and illegal drugs, but certainly there's a lot of prescription stimulant abuse going on. I'd like to have a subject matter expert from the veteran community, either from the VA or maybe one of the bases, to talk about what substance use looks like among the veteran population and how we can help them. And then for the 4th one, I'd really like to move things from the prevention side and work on a more positive light and thinking about strengths and what we can do as sort of upstream prevention rather than primary prevention.
Well, that sounds like you kind of covered the whole area, and everybody, you've got, seems like you got a little something for everybody that you're offering this. So who are some of the, so you say you don't provide programming directly, but you support and look to build, what was the word you used?
Capacity.
Capacity. I don't know why that was missing that. So what are some of the organizations that you do currently work with now?
Yeah, so I sit in on a lot of coalition meetings, including CCI. I'm so happy to be a part of this now. Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition, Drug Free Idaho. I work very closely with the Region 4 Behavioral Health Board, as do all of my counterparts in the state. That's part of the grant deliverable, actually. I also sit in on the Elmore County Health Coalition meetings. Really just a lot about resource sharing and figuring out what's there and where I might be able to help plug in. I also work with just a lot of recovery agencies in the area, and a lot of this is just done by flyer and email and just sort of cold calling people to see, hey, what do you do? How can we support each other? How can we work together? It doesn't always have to be a financial resource, but certainly knowledge sharing is helpful, and working on helping to disseminate those pouches and those boxes into the community through those services is great. We have a great communication with St. Luke's, our juvenile justice system, juvenile probation, drug court, and as I said, a lot of substance use treatment facilities as well.
So if people wanted to, whether it's a member of the community or a agency that may not be working with you currently, but are interested in working with you, how do they find out? How do they get in contact with you, get more information, and how do they find out about some of these webinars that you have planned coming up? How do they figure out to find this information?
Yeah, recruitment for the webinar will be coming probably in the early winter time, and I'll be sending out sort of email blasts about that. I just recently had a Partnerships for Success page added to the Central District Health website. It's under the Healthy Living column. So certainly you can go there and learn a little bit more about what the grant does. There's an order form for those doTERRA pouches and lock boxes directly on the website. It's just a Google form. It's really quick to fill out, and then I get notification of that. And then you can certainly email me. I'll provide my email to David, rsprague@cdh.idaho.gov. But I would encourage you, if you're not in Region 4, to get in touch with your local health district and find out who their Partnerships for Success project coordinator is, because there are 7 of us and we're all happy to help.
Yeah, we're going to include contact information for all of the PFS coordinators here in the state of Idaho. So if you are watching this and you are not in Region 4, you can find out who is working in your region and connect with them. So people, the best way to get a hold of the coordinators is just to give them shoot them an email or give them a call and see what they're doing in their area, and that's a good way to get plugged in.
Yeah, I would say definitely an email. A lot of us are working remotely. It might be difficult to get to the phones. A lot of our desk phones are forwarded to cell phones, but I think email is probably the best option at this point. See how you can get plugged in. We certainly do work with individuals. I have had drug pouches and lock boxes delivered to to homes, and I've just done a quick order of 2, and it's very easy to ship out. But I've also, sent 400 to St. Luke. So it really just depends. We just want to get those types of things into as many hands as possible. Same with the Be the Parents materials. It doesn't have to be an organization. It can certainly be a community member who just wants to have those on hand.
And the pouches she keeps talking about, luck boxes, she actually did a training for us at our last meeting, which was this week. And we have that video uploaded to our YouTube, and it'll be on our social media this week. So we will point you in that direction so that you can learn more about these pouches and boxes she keeps referring to.
Yeah, it's one of my sort of prized projects for the year because it was a collaborative effort between a couple of other CDH programs, our drug overdose prevention program and suicide prevention program. So people from lots of different organizations can certainly utilize them in their everyday work.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.